The hidden depths of the heart, between the disciplinarian's rigor and the guardian's tenderness. The first account, the silent shelter. One narrator reflects upon his past, saying, "Death claimed our father while we were yet in the tender years of childhood. Following his passing, we moved into a modest dwelling where we grew, flourished, and pursued our education for nearly 2 decades. Throughout those long years, we lived under the unwavering impression that the house was a part of our father's estate. It was only when we reached the full stature of adulthood that the truth was unveiled. The roof over our heads belonged entirely to our maternal uncle. Indeed, there exists a vast chasm between men of noble spirit and those of base character. Therefore, it is incumbent upon a man to seek a wife of righteous lineage and virtuous upbringing, for children often mirror the traits of their maternal uncles, and a noble root seldom yields bitter fruit." The second account, the mask of severity. Another narrator recounts a different journey. "Our father passed away during our youth, and our maternal uncle stepped in as our guardian. To our young eyes, he treated us with an unbearable, piercing severity. If he chanced upon us playing in the streets, he would discipline us with physical strikes. He was a constant presence at our school, inquiring with meticulous detail about our academic progress. Should he discover the slightest negligence in our studies, he would return to our home and beat us severely. Yet, as soon as any of us completed our education, our uncle would tirelessly hunt for a suitable profession, ensuring we were established in honorable positions. He devoted more concern to our welfare than to that of his own biological children. In our youth, we harbored a deep, burning resentment toward him, blinded by what we perceived as his cruelty. However, as the gray hairs of age began to show and we gained the wisdom of years, the veil was lifted. We discovered the staggering truth. This very uncle was the silent benefactor who had shouldered every single expense of our upbringing. Our mother finally revealed the secret to us, saying, 'It was your uncle who provided for everything, and he strictly commanded me never to utter a word of it to you.' She continued, 'Whenever you left for your studies, he would arrive at the house laden with food and every necessity of life. He performed these deeds in the shadows of secrecy, for he never wished for any of you to feel beholden to him or to think he held a favor over you. Even your garments were never of a poor sort. They were of the finest quality, ensuring you walked among other children with your heads held high.'" Upon learning the truth of our uncle's sacrifice, that ancient hatred was instantly transmuted into a profound and overflowing love. We realized then that his strikes were born of a desperate fear, a fear that we might falter in our education or wander down a dark path with ill companions. We understood that his love for us was monumental. He regarded us as his own flesh and blood and was fiercely protective of our dignity. He refused to let us taste the bitterness of obligation, choosing instead to provide for us in secret until we reached maturity and implored our mother to reveal the source of our blessings. Lessons and insights derived from the narratives. Beyond surface appearances, the perceived harshness of a guardian, be it a father or an uncle, may seem like an affliction to a child's eyes. In reality, it is often a protective fortress built to safeguard the child's future from ruin. The exalted role of the maternal uncle. The uncle is often regarded as a second father. These stories illustrate how an uncle can serve as a steadfast pillar, both financially and morally, preserving the dignity of his sister and her orphaned children. The virtue of anonymous charity. The grandeur of the uncle in the second story is found in his secret charity. His insistence on anonymity prevented the orphan spirits from breaking under the weight of gratitude, representing one of the highest forms of benevolence. Appreciating the sacrifices of guardians, one seldom realizes the magnitude of the deprivation and sacrifice endured by parents or guardians until they themselves step into the roles of responsibility and parenthood. Only then does one understand the meaning of self-denial for the sake of another. The weight of education and discipline, firmness in academics, and the avoidance of corrupt company are the only paths to a dignified future. Negligence in these areas often leads to the wandering of the soul and the loss of potential. Righteousness and mercy toward elders. It is a duty to supplicate for mercy for one's parents and guardians, treating them with gentleness and compassion, especially in their twilight years, as a recompense for the immense sacrifices they made during one's youth. The importance of noble lineage. The narratives emphasize selecting a spouse from a family of noble character and deep-rooted virtues. Maternal uncles are primary role models and direct influences on the temperament and future of the children. If you enjoyed the story, support us by liking and subscribing to the channel to see more.